What do The Lion King and Trails from Zero have in common? They both made me ugly cry. And with that out of the way, let's get into Trails from Zero, a game in a series that I started playing for the first time this year. I had a rocky start with it and wasn't even sure if I was going to continue playing the game. But let's be honest, if you've seen my other reviews, you know I was looking very forward to Trails from Zero. So let's get into the game. And real quick, this is a spoiler-free review. All the footage you will see in this video is from the first 2 hours of the game, so you can watch and enjoy without worrying about anything getting spoiled. But I do need to at least set up the game and what it is and where it fits into the series. Trails from Zero follows Trails in the Sky the Third. While some of the things that happen in that game and in the previous games do show up in this game, it kind of serves as a good jumping on point for new players who are new to the series, and one that I would actually recommend you get into if you don't have a way of playing Trails in the Sky, but you want to get into the series. Now, Trails from Zero shifts things out of Liberal and into Crossbow, where we meet the Special Support Squad, who are tasked with restoring people's trust in the CPD by taking on support quests. People in Crossbow don't really trust the police, which is understandable because they're kind of corrupt, but it's up to this new group of protagonists to restore people's faith in the CPD through the Special Support Squad. And this is where we meet the new characters in Trails from Zero: Lloyd Bannings, Tio Plato, Randy Orlando, and Ellie McDowell. And I have to say, the new cast of characters are all really enjoyable. Something I did in this game that I didn't really do in the Trails in the Sky games was do as many of the side quests as I possibly could. I think I only missed 2 or 3 side quests in this game. And in doing so, I got plenty of time with all of these characters and got to witness some pretty funny moments, while also getting to see what some of their backstories are and get to know the characters on a more deeper level than what I did with the characters in Trails in the Sky before the third game. Now, of course, this game series is all about the characters and getting to know them, even the side characters as well. It's worth talking to the different characters after you've completed a side quest or one of the main quest missions to see what the dialogue is and how it changes, and maybe some new items might appear as well through those dialogue options. With Trails from Zero, I tried to do as much as I possibly could. I tried to talk to as many characters as I could. I tried to do as many side quests as I could. I tried to explore every nook and cranny of this new area because I just thought Crossbow was a really cool city. I thought it was a cool region, and I don't know, there was something about this one game that clicked that just made me want to take in as much as I possibly could. Now, in typical Trails fashion, this is the start of the Crossbow duology, and as the start of any new arc in this series, the game is a little bit slow, although I will admit that Trails from Zero is paced better than Trails in the Sky the first chapter is, at least in my opinion. And this serves as a way to get you introduced to the new characters, the area, the abilities, the moves, the combat, everything, so that way you don't just get overwhelmed right from the start. And I actually appreciated that in this game. As a matter of fact, I think it has something to do with the fact I was reading Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archive books this year that helped me appreciate these games a little bit more and the slow burn and the time that they take to get you invested in the characters, because it's time well invested. Now, one of the things that makes Trails from Zero one of my favorite games, and I'm just going to get that out of the way right now, this is one of my favorite JRPGs I played this year. One of the things that made this game so good is that JRPGs have a lot of words. And if you're like me, sometimes, or like often, I zone out and can't remember what I read. But in this game, you can open up the dialogue box or the text log and read through some of the things that you missed so you can get caught up on what you might have zoned out reading, because there's a lot of things to read in this game. And I just really appreciated that quality of life feature in this game. And the thing with this game, as with the other Trails games, is that as you play more of the game and you explore more of the area, you quickly realize there's a lot more going on here than just, rescuing cats out of trees and checking in on support requests about mysterious dogs in the area. Now, as you play through the game, each new story beat gets layered on top of each other, building this beautiful lasagna of a JRPG that by the time you reach the end, you realize, man, that was an amazing meal full of surprises and delights, and some characters that you might be a little familiar with, but not quite as delightful as clicking the like button down below and hitting the subscribe button to this channel. Thank you if you did that in advance. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and say something slightly controversial. The combat in Trails from Zero is similar to Final Fantasy VII with its turn-based mechanics, its orbment system being kind of like the materia system, but I think the combat system in Trails from Zero is better than Final Fantasy VII. See, the thing is, when you slot in the orbments in the right way into your device, you can unlock some special moves that really make combat dynamic and fun and really rewarding to just mix and match different types of things into your system so you can learn different moves and unlock new moves. For example, I unlocked the Crimson Ray art ability for Lloyd that, let's just say, it carried me through to the end of the game melting monsters left and right. It's a pretty powerful move. And it's just something that I had a lot of fun experimenting with, just mixing, matching different colored orbments and trying to see what I could unlock. And it was just really, really cool. There is a manual in the game that shows you what you can unlock by slotting in certain things in certain places, but I just didn't really mess with that too much, with the exception of trying to find the Crimson Ray ability, because I wanted to see what that was all about. And something else about the combat is that every now and then you'll get a support character that comes along in your party. So you'll have 5 people technically in your party, and the support character will come along and do certain things that will either heal your team or add an additional damage round to your combat. It just spices things up a little bit. And with the ability to skip really long animations for the special moves, which are very cool looking, but they can get a little boring after the 10th time, you can speed those up, you can speed the combat up. It just makes grinding in the game for XP feel a lot more bearable, and it just, I don't know, I just really gravitated towards the combat in this game, so much so to the point that I didn't really run from any fights. I wanted to grind out the XP and just go through the game overpowered. And another great thing about this game is that it encourages you to explore each area of this game, whether you're going to find a new fishing spot, or you're going to complete a support request, or you're going to find a new treasure chest that has a unique dialogue that after you take the items out and you talk to it, it might make fun of you or make some kind of joke or something. It's one of the things I love about the Trails series is that whole chest dialogue thing. You take the item out, you open the chest again, and it gives you a dialogue thing, and it either makes fun of you or it says something else. It's a level of attention to detail you don't really see in other games. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention one of the best things about Trails from Zero. The music in this game is redonkulous. So I'm going to repeat myself here and say that Trails from Zero is one of my top 5 favorite JRPGs, especially one of my favorite JRPGs that I played this year. The characters and the places that the story goes is unexpected, it's surprising, it's charming. It's, like I said, there's parts in this game that made me ugly cry, like I did when I watched Lion King for the first time. And for those of you that have played the Trails series, at least Trails in the Sky, and you go and play this one, you probably know what scenes I'm talking about because you've already played this game. And for those of you that have not played this game yet, trust me, it's going to hit you in the feels. It may not hit as hard as what it would if you played the Trails in the Sky games. Regardless, this is a great jumping on point for new players, and it's one that has a great story, great cast of characters, great combat. It's just a great game all around. Now, in order for me to explain why the game broke me and I broke down into tears playing it, I'm going to save that for the spoiler talk video that's going to be coming out roughly sometime soon, maybe in the next year. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just kidding. The spoiler video is right here. You can go watch it right now. But Trails from Zero, I can safely say it's one of my favorite JRPGs I played this year. It's worth checking out, and it's really, really good. And so with that being said, this is probably the last video we'll put out for 2022. I want to thank you all for your support this year. It's been a crazy year getting into the Trail series, doing videos more consistently, and interacting with a lot of you, growing the channel to over 1,000 subscribers, and just seeing that growth just continue day by day. 2022, I hope to get more videos out. I mean, Trails to Azure is coming out. And then once I finish that, I'll be playing through the Cold Steel games, and then I'll be playing Trails into Reverie or From Reverie, whichever. That just got a release date. So needless to say, it's going to be a busy 2023 with all these Trails games I'll be playing, but hopefully I'll be able to get videos out for those. But again, I want to thank you all for watching the videos here, liking the videos, commenting, subscribing, and doing all that stuff. I want to thank you all for your support this year. And until next time, be a deer, keep it locked here. And we'll see you in the next video.